There we go.
I was going to say, we didn't get our little, there we go. Thank you.
So I should have had it record automatically, but that's okay. So real quick again, hi, my name is Stephanie from Starkeeper Astrology. I'm a 13 sign true sidereal astrologer, looking to align the true sky with the now moment and let some people in. Kahulani, if you want to introduce yourself.
Sure. Good morning, everyone. My name is Kahulani. I am located here in Maui. So grateful. I'm actually so grateful. I'm about to cry. So hold on. I just have to breathe for a minute. I'm like, so excited. I got up at 4 this morning. It's 6 here. So here we are. But yes, I'm a kahuna and I've been magic my whole life. And I am so grateful to be here. And I just love helping people. And I just love to experience this moment with everyone, and we're all helping each other, and I just love that we get to do this together, and I'm so grateful for this circle that we get to be in together today. And so I'm just here to do some light language and some activations. It's basically just going to help us with this beautiful Virgo season of cleansing and clearing and taking the pressure off of us. So I'm here to just, we're easing into this. We're not going to, no pressure. So welcome. Thank you. So excited.
Yeah. And if anyone wants to let us know in the chat where you are tuning in from, I'm currently in New Jersey. As Kahulani just said, she's in Hawaii. So we got some versatility across the map going on.
Yay,
Canada.
Ontario.
Hey, Canada.
Awesome. Welcome. Maybe I can put in the chat where I'm from so everyone who comes in late knows. We'll just be like, welcome from Maui.
Okay. All right. So we're going to get started with a little bit of an opening ceremony to help ground in some of this energy and really set the tone, set the space. So if you have New Jersey, so if you have your candle or some sage, this will be the time to get that out. Really just want to set the intention to really anchor in, because I mean, oh my goodness, has everything been so fast moving, right? Time has just been absolutely eluding us, it feels like. So I'm just going
What
to
is time?
Well, according to astrology,
right,
time
right.
is the cycles of the planets. So
it's been wild though. Like you said, it seems to be zooming by so fast. And I'm just really grateful that we get to be here now to just kind of like, let's quiet down for a moment and let's realize that we don't have to move so fast, and we can anchor into the earth a little bit and just kind of remind ourselves that the only pressure that we are putting on ourselves is from ourselves usually. And so this is our little pass that we get to chill for a little while.
Yeah.
So I just would like to say welcome, everyone. Let's just sit down and get comfortable. You can close your eyes if you'd like to. Your candle is ready. Maybe you've lit some incense or some sage. And we're going to breathe. We're going to just breathe into this moment. I'm taking us to a sacred mountain today, together. It makes me cry, God. So I just got a vision right before this started. I don't generally prep too much for these things. I just like to be very in the now moment. So we're going to walk through the mist, up a pathway together. Let us go. So just start breathing in whatever way feels comfortable for you. I'm going to start with a big, long, deep breath. Sometimes I like to put my hands out and just kind of collect whatever energy might be here for me. Anchor in the moment, feel your body, feel your breath, come into your body. Take your right hand and place it on your heart space. Your left hand on your abdomen. Take another really big, deep breath. We have arrived at a beautiful clearing. We are sitting together under an ancient forest. We're sitting on the moss. Moss is the most ancient plant in the universe that I know of. It is so healing and so beautiful. So here we are in a circle together, anchored in our bodies with our breath. So grateful we're all here together. So let us sit and breathe and be in the circle together under this ancient forest, in the mist, ready to get clear and slow down. Thank you. We are anchored. You can release your hands, let your breath go back to normal, open your eyes. Thank you, Stephanie. I hand it over.
That was so nice, so beautiful. Thank you so much for that. What a wonderful way to really anchor in this Virgo time. Oh my goodness. So let's get started. Let's talk about the magic that is Virgo, and also this very misinterpreted energy that is Virgo as well. Virgo gets a bad rap sometimes in astrology for being extremely high-strung, this perfectionist, and it's really not about that. It really isn't. Virgo is about returning to your innocence. And we kind of nicknamed this session here about Virgo as in it's purification, not perfection. There is such a misconception that Virgo is looking for everything to be perfect. And perfection isn't really something that is real. It's an imagination that we hold in our heads. It's something that is not necessarily achievable because what is perfect to one person might not be perfect to another. And so what Virgo is really inviting us to do is to remove things that are blocking us from being the purest version of ourselves, from functioning the way that we are supposed to function in our organic form. So it's about removing blockages. And before we get started, many people will probably think that we've already been in Virgo season, right? If you're not already familiar with my work, 13 Sign True Sidereal Astrology, then you would believe what Western astrology says, that Virgo season has started in August 22nd, which is not true. I invite anyone who has a sky tracking app to check on your app, look for the sun, and you let me know, is it positioned in the middle of Virgo, or is it just entering Virgo? Because seeing is truly believing. It is really something else to notice and to look up. I use Skyview. I also use Star Walk 2. I have to get, I'm assuming there's a Star Walk 1. I've never had it, but I use Star Walk 2. And those are astronomical tracking apps. And they're not astrological, though they have the astrological signs, of course. So astrological being the 12 to 13 signs that are in the zodiac belt, and astronomical being the mathematical placement of where these signs are. And so we can look up with our own eyes and tracking apps to see where the energy actually is. So it's really great today because the moon is also in Taurus, another earth sign, and the moon is so happy there, and it's really comfortable, and it's going to really allow us to really sit in the energy of earth and really be held by the support of nature, because the earth signs, they really take on a lot. They bear a lot of responsibility on their shoulders. It's the most stable of the sign, and then also I feel the most abused sign, given a lot of the tasks that other signs don't want to do. As they will get it done. It's very practical. But we're really sitting in this energy and reminding Earth what it is to be in Earth. It's a very sensual energy. When we're here on Earth, we have all of our 5 senses. That's the only place that they're applicable. And so we are able to touch, taste, smell, really indulge in life. And that's what Earth is all about. It's about being present, receiving the gifts that are here, and literally being actively tangible in your life, and not just observing, not just being in the mental space and thinking about your life or feeling through it, but being present, being able to be in the moment and not react necessarily in a sense of not thinking, but to be able to have a reaction to your life, to be able to participate in your life. And with the energy just moving into Virgo, rather than it being in Virgo in August of the 22nd, which it was still very much Leo season, that really shifts the energy. I don't know if anyone has felt the shift last night, but it really went from the last day of like Leo's party of, okay, we're indulging, we're having fun. And now it's the energy of let's get to work. Let's clean up. Let's remove some things that are really blocking the way. And I think that's really important because Virgo is actually the largest sign that is sitting in the zodiac belt. There's signs that are larger, but don't take up as much space in the belt itself. And so true sign, 13 sign true sidereal astrology takes the sizes of the signs as they are, rather than dividing them into even 30 degrees, which is not true. They're not all even. The same way in life and in nature in a forest, everything grows organically and it doesn't look like your garden or a lawn. It's this mess that is working organically. That's kind of what the heavens are. It's not this evenly dividable calendar. It is this beautiful combination of boundless sky that we, humanity, has put boundaries on so that we can better understand it. And what 13 sign true sky does is it removes some of the tightness of this boundary, some of the uniform energy. And some astrologers don't agree with this. They like more of the predictability and the dividing of the 12 signs. But again, in nature, things aren't always perfectly even. It's just not how it works. And so Virgo actually takes up about 48 degrees in the sky. And so this Virgo season lasts a lot longer than most would expect, especially if you're familiar with Western tropical astrology. So it started today, 0 degrees. Take a moment to realize we're in this literal 0 degrees infinite energy portal of Virgo. So September 16th is the starting date, all the way to November 4th. That's how long Virgo season lasts. From September 16th to November 4th. It takes up all of October. Libra doesn't begin until the 5th of November. And if there's anyone in here who your birthday falls in that time, you may notice now that your sun sign has shifted, and that's okay. Is that realizing of, oh my goodness, we have to align with this correct time. And so this is the longest sign that we spend time in. This theme clearly wants to be expressed, taken its time with, and acknowledged. Pisces is the next longest, and that's the complete opposite of the sky. So we'll get into that at a later date. But Pisces is Virgo is the largest sign. And so it's really, I find it really important that not only we acknowledge when we enter this sign, but also that we acknowledge how long we're in it. That we're not shifting through Libra season when tropical Western astrology says so. The equinox, the fall equinox, does not occur during Libra season anymore. It occurs during Virgo season. And this kind of changes the game. It changes a lot of the energy. It changes how you think that you express yourself. It even takes up into what tropical Western astrology would say Scorpio starts, because clearly it's running way past October. And so this is really important to acknowledge. And I just want to do a quick introduction into Virgo. Do I have any Virgos in here in the chat? Feel free to tell me if your birthday falls within that date time. So from September 16th to November 11th, do we have any birthdays here? Or do we have any True Sky Virgos? Oh, yes. Now, what sign did you believe you were before? Was it Libra? Oh, Scorpio. Okay. Yeah. So fascinating, right? How it's back to actually two signs. So if you do still resonate with your Scorpio energy, there's a chance that your Mercury, the way your mental body processes, might still be in Scorpio, or you might have some other prominent placements that would allude to that. But yeah, your solar gate is actually shining through the Virgo, the Virgin, this energy of this purity, this cleansing. And so where Scorpio would be more of a shedding and a darker energy, this is a lot lighter. Lighter in a sense of the way it functions, though earth signs often have a heavy feeling to them. So the earth sign, Virgo, is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury's retrograde along with a bunch of other planets right now, which I will be getting into because we have to talk about that. Can't not. And Mercury rules the mental body. This is how we think, how we communicate. And so I often say that Virgo is like the air sign of the earth signs, just because it's such a strong mental energy. Mercury is actually exalted, meaning it's the happiest and the most itself in Virgo. And so that's why it's also its planetary ruler. So it also rules Gemini as well, two mental bodies, one being an air sign, one being the earth sign. And it's designed for analysis. Virgo has a hypercritical eye. And the problem with that is a lot of times the hypercritical eye gets turned inward and you begin to only criticize yourself when that's not what it's designed for. Virgo is all about quality control. In the body, it rules the intestines, the digestive system, gut, the spleen. And so it deals with this internal gut knowing. And so that's where like the Mercury energy comes in from. So they say we have three brains or three body parts that function as the brain, which is the head, the heart, and the gut. And so Virgo's mental energy is coming from the gut. It's a very gut intuitive knowing, and its ability to discern. The ability to discern is so important and so overlooked. And again, it's another reason why I really wanted to host this time, is to really talk about how it's never been more important right now that our discernment is where it needs to be, that we are able to trust our gut, because there's never been more confusing times, right? We're watching a possible collapse of an empire. And so there's misinformation, there's agendas going on, poisonings of the food and things like that. And you need to be able to trust your body to understand what to let in information wise and intake wise, because food is also information. And dealing with the gut, that's going to mess up how you think, how you're able to process information. And so Virgo really deals with the merging of the mind and the body. The mind and the body coming together and realizing it is of one system. A lot of times in our pursuit of spiritual practice, we tend to neglect the body. Not everybody does this, but for a large amount of people, we get so caught up in the idea of transcendence, this idea of leaving the body behind, and what we accumulate information-wise or whatever we believe in is the most important. But we're here and physical in these vessels for a reason. We are anchored into this lifetime in a body for a reason. And so we can't neglect the body in the pursuit of spiritual enlightenment. It's just not possible. The body has to be incorporated into the practice. And Virgo really wants you to remember that your body's a temple, and that when you're in a temple, think of the sacred space, right? Like you wouldn't litter, you wouldn't do anything that would deface it, that would harm it, that would curse it. You would understand its sacredness. It would be honored. It would be worshipped in a sense, or a place of worship. And the body is that temple. It's the temple that our soul is housed in. And so to ignore the body in the pursuit of intellect or in the pursuit of the spirit is to partially ignore your role here, is to remember I'm in a physical vessel for a reason. This is really important. And Virgo is all about pulling all of that mental energy and bringing it into the body. This is how we remember. And so breath work, meditation, things that activate the body in a very intentional way is incredibly in tune with Virgo's energy. Also, with it ruling the intestines and the spleen, the digestive system. It's important during this time particularly that you don't necessarily follow a particular diet, but that you honor your body and eat things that are on the lighter side or consuming more water, because our bodies are responding to the celestial energy at all the time. Like, even if you don't believe in astrology, you can have somebody who just totally denounces it, lives their everyday life. Their subconscious energy, their physical body, and the world around them is always being affected by the stars above. It's the reason they're there. We're in tune with it as Earth is, and we are in tune with her. And so you don't have to believe in astrology to have your body react to the changing of the seasons, to the changing of the sun signs. So some things that you may be feeling at this time, I know I was already feeling it coming into this, is the sense of purging. So anybody feeling like their skin's starting to break out a little bit, again, their skin is an elimination process, so it will be eliminating toxins, the same thing Virgo is looking to do in your life. You might notice your appetite is changing. You might want to eat lighter foods or almost even do a little more like juice cleansing or smoothies. And again, it's not that you can't eat anything, but being more aware of what you're putting in while your body's responding to the cue of detox. That is what is happening. You're getting a cue from the solar system of, hey, it's detox time. It's time to purge. And so with that, your body will begin to purge. And during this time too, you'll notice that people tend to get a little on the sick side. You know, the sniffles start to come around, sore throat activations going around. And that doesn't mean necessarily that you are sick. Granted, if you really do feel bad, of course, do what you need to do. But what is happening during this time is that your body is responding to the purging. And so in order to remove all the buildup that has occurred from, the last few months of the body not having this cue and having more fun, more indulgence, now it's getting back to work and it's saying, all right, we got to clear out this system. And so you'll notice that you might be a little more phlegmy with the changing of the season, and again, feeling either like a little queasy in the stomach if you eat something too heavy, or just craving something lighter. This all deals with the subconscious energy of the body being affected by the planetary systems. So again, we are always in tune, whether we realize it or not. And I always say that awareness is key. Yeah, body's purging. Yeah, I woke up in the morning and I had all this. Thank goodness nobody can see it, because I'm like, whoo, the purging is here. And definitely drink lots of water during this time, because what the intestines works with is absorption of water, and water helps the detoxing process. It helps flush everything out. Think about, when you're doing service to your car or service to anything, you want to flush out any stagnant energy, and water is the greatest conduit for that. Our body is the greatest, most intelligent, divine, organic machine there is, and it needs to sometimes be recognized as a machine, and it requires some maintenance. Yeah, 9.5, yes. Encourage everybody to take a sip of water, because I just had to, just talking about it. I got so thirsty. Okay, yeah, so definitely letting yourself align with the purging, align with what your body is trying to do at this time. And the other main thing that Virgo is known for is of a being of service. Being of service. So we're moving from Leo, who is more self-indulgent, but divinely guided too. But it's nothing wrong with that. But we had our fun, we had our fire, we had our moment on stage. And now it's time to come back to ourselves and to say, okay, there's work to be done. I need to be in service to something. And what Virgo does with this service is it's a devotion. It's the way of showing its spiritual practice. Again, Virgo is very hands-on. It's a very tangible spiritual energy. It's not lost in the mysticisms or diving into the dark occults and researching. It's all about being here and being in practice and letting your life be the practice. Letting your life, the work that you do, help others and guide others in mundane ways. Really, it's okay. Like, so often we try to bypass a lot of this reality, but Virgo wants us to embody the purity, the pure intentions, having a pure soul, not doing something just for the sake of that you have to do it, but doing it because you want to and because it's correct. That's what Virgo does. Virgo is also very into organization. So as we're coming into this time, again, a very large window Virgo season, starting today, the 16th, all the way to November 4th. Don't forget, we're going all the way through October without changing sun signs. So we really take our time to sit in this. This is not a rush. We're not moving fast through this energy. We really want to take our time. And the organization that it wants to bring to your life, the organization that we get so cluttered, and this is a part of the detoxing process. Really, that's what organization is, right? It's looking around at your life, not just your desk, not just your room, the people you allow in your life, the thoughts you allow, all of that can really use some purging and organization to remove what no longer serves. That's the detoxing process on a larger scale. It's not just the body, though that's essential. It's not just the mind, though that's essential. It's also the environment, the people that we let in. Because Virgo also deals with boundaries. And so setting boundaries is a form of the self-care, a service to self, and again, respecting the purity. If somebody's coming in to your reality and just not respecting you or dumping a lot of emotional clutter, like, it's okay to not necessarily have the space for that or want to deal with that. Virgo is very strong on their boundaries. Politely, unless you need to say it harder. But it's really about being firm with who you are and what you're allowing in. You wouldn't just drink a bottle of arsenic knowing it's like, oh, it's poison, I'm going to drink it, right? Yet we allow other things in our reality that are filled with poisons and toxins, things that aren't good for us, into our field, into our bodies, into our lives. We accept a lot of things that don't do well. And your body and your gut know. Again, Virgo's about the intelligence of the gut, that it's a mind as well. And trusting your gut, trusting your intuition, listening to your body when it tells you, like, that doesn't feel right, or this person doesn't feel right. Doing the necessary steps to begin the elimination, or to put a lot of distance between you and that environment or you and that person. I understand that there's only so much you can do. Like, if you live at home and you're subjected to a certain environment, but you can definitely create boundaries. You can definitely hold them strong. That's what Virgo wants us to do. And this is a return to our innocence. This is remembering, because Virgo's the virgin, right? And that doesn't mean that we have to be a virgin. That doesn't mean you have to take back everything you've done. It's remembering your innocence through it and returning your intentions back to your purity. Again, it's not about perfection. It's not about achieving a certain goal. It's not about looking a certain way. It's about feeling the most aligned in your organic self. About when your gut and intuition speak to you and you're able to hear them and you're in line with it. Your version of perfection, your version of wholeness is going to look different than so many other people's. To be pure doesn't mean you have to be clean cut, no tattoos, a virgin, literally dressed in all white, never to say a curse word. That's unrealistic, and that is not the meaning. That's one definition that everybody holds in this image that we've been implanted with. But it's about being your most organic self, about allowing your body to speak with you, merging this mind with the self. This is so, so important. And again, this season lasts for quite some time. And we're going to actually have, at some point right now, we have Mercury in Virgo already. It's about 13 degrees, though it is retrograde. We have the sun now that just entered. Venus will be following shortly. And so for a large time of this energetic period from the 16th to November 4th, we're going to have at least 3 planets in this sign. So there's definitely a heavy focus coming up to returning to this state of being. You don't have to cut out all the foods at once, but start to read the backs of them and look for the chemicals. You don't have to necessarily count the calories right now. We're looking more to remove the chemicals. Virgo is very sensitive to this kind of stuff, especially if you have a Virgo rising. If anybody has Virgo rising and you're aware of that, your body is definitely like a filter. Like it's going to feel the things that are going through it and start to alert you a lot easier than maybe somebody else who's not so in tune with their body. If you have Virgo on your ascendant, or you have a Virgo stellium, meaning a lot of planets in it, your body is always screaming to you. And it's just whether or not you notice it. That gut will speak to you. You'll get an upset stomach from worrying about something. You'll get an upset stomach from eating something that had chemicals in it. It's really about remembering that it's an intelligent system, right? Like we don't just dress our body up and go outside and be like, okay, here I am. This is your divine vessel. You're given this for life. It's your only one in this time. And so to treat it respectfully and to listen to it as the intelligent thing that it is, I mean, what more can we ask? Also with Virgo, this is a sign that is a bit more reserved. This is, I like to use the word conservative, but that turned into a political word. So think of it more of reserved, not so outgoing, not so loud. This is a sign that really, again, is returning to itself, to sit with itself. And so Virgo can feel a little constricting. And especially as we have the rest of the signs joining in to, the rest of the planets joining into Virgo as we go on to this season, she can be a bit heavy. Virgo, again, being really involved in service and the practicality of life, the details, the mundane, it's not necessarily the funnest spiritual experience. It is, though, very necessary and important to the rest of the journey. But you might feel energetically heavier, especially as I get into the fact that we have 6 planets plus Chiron in retrograde. What a time. Energy is going to feel like it's sitting on you. So during this Virgo season, with this heightened feeling of productivity, sometimes when you don't achieve that feeling of productivity, or you didn't do all the things you set out to do, you start to have that critical eye that I mentioned earlier turn inward. And it turns inward and starts to criticize you for the things you haven't done. And that turns into a very vicious cycle, because once the critical eye is set inward, it is very hard to put it back outward, which is what it's for. Again, these critical eyes are for discernment. It's so that you can be able to tell, is that a poison or is that going to nourish me? In all aspects of life. Again, not just your food intake, but your energy intake, the people, your environment. You need to be able to discern, is this truth? Is this illusion? Is this nutrient? Is this toxin? But when it turns inward, we don't look at anything coming in. We only look at ourselves and how we're acting, how we're feeling, that this isn't good enough. That perfectionist energy kicks on, self-conscious energy kicks on. So this definitely has a time where it can feel really heavy and defeating. And I just want everyone to know that it's okay. It's okay to occasionally have the eyes turn inward and sit with this heaviness. Just remember, when you do feel that, when you do feel like, oh, I'm not doing it, like I'm not doing good enough, I've set my bar here and I haven't achieved it, it's good to set your goals and to do what you can, but do not exhaust yourself. That's the last thing that you should be doing during Earth season, because Earth signs get used enough. This is really a good time to set your goals, achieve what you can, and move slowly through them. It's not a race. It's not a race. So I mentioned the retrogrades, and I really want to get into this too, because a lot of these planets will still be in retrograde for most of this Virgo season. The only 2 that will stop being in retrograde will be Mercury, because it only lasts 2 weeks, and Pluto will be coming out of retrograde during Virgo season. So we have Mercury retrograde, which just started on the 11th of this month, September. How's everyone feeling with that? It's kind of hard to tell at this point, right? We got 6 others to get through. So we have Mercury retrograde in Virgo. We have Jupiter retrograde. That started back in July, the end of July. We have Saturn, who's retrograde. That occurred in June. That one's been fun. Anybody noticing karmic energy? Oh my goodness. Karmic energy is so heightened right now. Anything you're going through is being handed to you to be re-examined. Saturn's all about lessons. We also have Uranus retrograde. I'll get into that. That one started late August. Neptune is currently still retrograde. That occurred late June. And Pluto retrograde, which will be ending in early October, and that one started in May. And then the other planet, who's not really a planet, it's Chiron, the ruler of the 13th sign of Fucus. Any of Fucus energy in here? Chiron is the wounded healer, and he has been retrograde since July as well. And so we have all of this planetary energy spinning backwards. And what that means is that rather than the energy being an external expression, where the energy is able to flow out of us, it is now slowed down and internalized. So the energy is not, all these planetary themes are not having as much of an easy time being outwardly expressed. So the whole world almost turns inward, and you have to deal with it without an external event occurring, right? Like you don't need something to happen in order to feel all of this energy. There's no external stimulus. This is really a time of, we have to zoom in and pay attention to our internal worlds, your little bubble. It is not world stage time. And I think it's a great time that most of these signs are, I keep calling them signs, I mean to call them planets. Most of these planets are retrograde during this Virgo cycle, because Virgo already wants us to deal with our current reality. It's not about watching the world stage. It's not about watching what others are doing. Virgo's detail oriented, so its narrow sight wants you to focus on you and what's going on with you. And again, that's why sometimes it turns too far inward and becomes hypercritical. But we want those eyes to be discerning, almost like, imagine you can project right outside of your aura. And your aura extends forward in front of you as well, to the back. And basically what Virgo energy wants you to do is to discern whether something can get into that field. Would you, again, let a toxin into that field? Or would you let a nutrient into that field? Would you let somebody who is supportive or somebody who is draining? An environment that feels good or an environment that is absolutely hell to get through? Your discerning eyes need to be looking out there to make sure nothing is coming in here. And it's not super extended. Again, it's not a world stage focus. It is your everyday mundane life, which is in itself a spiritual experience. It is so, so, so important to remember that we are in essence already spiritual beings, therefore already in a spiritual practice. And so folding the laundry and organizing your desk, cleaning your kitchen, exhausting tasks. But if you can remember that your temple is sacred, not only to your body, but the temple that you live in, and treating it as such, and remembering that it's a practice of devotion to be able to take care of yourself and take care of your environment in such a way to, again, treat it as a temple that it is. You wouldn't walk in a sacred building and just be like, oh, I'm just going to leave my garbage there. Like, that's not going to happen. Would you do that? I wouldn't. But we so quickly do this to ourselves and our environments, and they get neglected. And it's okay to go through the ebbs and flows of not being able to have your house spick and span. I'm not saying that, again, it's not perfection we're looking for. It's just purity. It's purifying, removing what doesn't belong, removing what's blocking energy, removing whatever is stopping you from being fully embodied, or whatever's stopping you from flowing clearly in your house. So with Mercury retrograde that just happened, and again, the planetary ruler of Virgo, just happened on the 11th of September and will be retrograde until October 2nd. Mercury's message to us is slow down. Slow down. Do not go too fast. And I think I saw that in the chat. Yep, slow down. Oh, for me. I'm telling everyone to slow down. I'm going too fast. Sorry. Karmic energies. Yes, we'll get that when we get into Saturn. Oh my goodness, the karmic energies. But Mercury is really telling us, do not speed through anything too quickly, because you're going to miss the details. You're going to overlook what's important. That's when miscommunications occur. That's when issues occur with whatever you're trying to do in your day-to-day, because Mercury also rules the mind and the day-to-day functions, because that's what the logical mind is for. And the logical mind is definitely overused. We're not supposed to be sitting in such a critical energy all the time. Again, it's mostly supposed to be for discernment, but we have to go to work and do things and require us to always have this energy on. And so for these 2 weeks of Mercury retrograde, it is really, really saying, like, can we just give our mind a little bit of a break? Can I tap into some of the more creative side? So if you have something that's more right brain that you love to do, whether that's, you know, painting, singing, drawing, whatever. I mean, there's so many other right brain expressions, and I just can't think of them right now, but whatever it is, taking yourself out of the constant analytical mind. Such a gift. That's exactly what Mercury is asking for at this moment. And it's also for you to zoom out for a minute and just observe. Observe your mindset during Mercury retrograde. How do you think about yourself in scenarios? Are you easily defeated? Or are you someone who can triumph through anything? Do you talk down to yourself? Again, this is a great time to analyze that, because Virgo is going to be tempting us to judge ourselves. Turn those discerning eyes outward. But are you hypercritical? How's your inner self-talk? Your body's always listening. Always listening. It's an intelligent design. The water in your body, which we are made of on a cellular level, I believe it's almost 90% water. They're listening. The water molecules are listening. And so we're coding ourselves all the time. And so during this Mercury retrograde, notice for yourself, like, my self-talk, my mindset. How have I been, problem solving? Do I explode easily? Like, where is my mind at? And then again, giving that mind a break so that it can sit with itself and say, like, is this serving me, or am I defeating myself? So that's Mercury. Then we have Jupiter, the greater benefic of the chart, who again has been retrograde since July 30th and will be retrograde until November 24th. So this will go extending past even Virgo season. And Jupiter is asking us, whenever it's retrograde, Jupiter, so chill. He's our friend. Jupiter wants to give us gifts, and normally does give us gifts without us doing almost anything. It's like, hey, you want that? Here you go. Jupiter will bestow upon you. But when he's retrograde, he's asking you, are you willing to do the work to receive what I'm going to give you? Are you willing to put yourself out there? Are you willing to be optimistic even when you're not receiving what you're looking for yet? And that's the mission that we're on for now with Jupiter being retrograde. Searching within ourselves, searching for our own wisdom when we're not necessarily getting the answers we're looking for, when we're not receiving the gifts of the energy that we were trying to, work for. Like, hey, where's this going? I've done all this work and I'm not receiving anything. Jupiter's saying, can you be patient and continue to work? I promise I'll give it to you. Just keep working. Search within yourself. You have all the answers. I really love Jupiter retrograde. It's really about trusting yourself, trusting that you have the gifts inside of you. It's shifting from the outer world giving you gifts to you yourself giving the gifts. And that's what I love, because it's about gifts. all the other planets can be a little harsh, but Jupiter loves to give us gifts. So now we move to Saturn. I find that Saturn retrograde almost more so than even Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde gets a bad rap. And I'll tell you, it's more the shadow period when Mercury's returning to its position that it's stationed retrograde. That's when I find that like the clutter, confusion, chaos occurs, not the retrograde itself. But Saturn retrograde, I find to be the most prominent. Like there's no avoiding this one, right? So let's dive in for a second. So Saturn retrograde occurred June 6th and will be ending October 22nd. So that means that we will be out of Virgo season for no, sorry, I said that wrong. Saturn will be stationed direct while still in Virgo season, so it won't last the whole thing. But anyway, it's karmic handouts and the revisitation of lessons. When I'm getting so tongue-tied. When Saturn stations retrograde, it's a review of the last time that it was retrograde. Follow me for a moment. So since the last time it stationed retrograde until now, everything that you've done and accumulated, the energy that you've put out into the world is now being served to you. So from the moment from June 6th to now, October 22nd, pay attention to how life has been responding to you. You are receiving what you have given out, whether you like it or not. If you've done really well, maybe you're getting all the things back that you've put out. But maybe if you made some bad decisions, stayed with the wrong company, or treated people a little poorly, you might be getting back some of that, wondering why people are being weird with you, or things aren't unfolding the way you expected. It's really important that we analyze how life responds to us, because it's a karmic wheel. All the energy that we are giving out, we eventually get back. And it's between these retrograde cycles that we accumulate and then receive, accumulate and then receive. And on a larger scale, with like Saturn returns, Saturn squares in your personal chart, there's much bigger accumulations and receiving. So this is on a smaller scale. This is more, again, like daily life. And so you'll maybe noticing that people at the past surface during Mercury I can't get this straight. There's so many. During Saturn retrograde, you may notice that people are coming through, karmic people, people of the past, either past relationships or even past business partners. It doesn't always have to be relationships. People in your life resurfacing, or scenarios in your life resurfacing for you to revisit. So just being aware of that, and being real with yourself too. Like, who have I been? Have I been the person I should be? And do I like what I'm receiving right now? Do I like the energy that's coming back to me? Because if you don't, it's a great time to realize that there's some changes that need to be done. Saturn is very much like, I didn't make up this analogy, but I do love it. It's like a high school principal. If you did the work and you go to see the principal, you got nothing to fear. They'll probably tell you, hey, you did a good job. Nice job on that work. But if you didn't do what you were supposed to do, maybe you fucked off a bit, caused trouble, or just ignored things, and the principal shows up. It's like, oh my God, am I going to get in trouble? What's going to happen? And really, that's what Saturn's here for. They'll dish out good and bad. It's not all bad. But if bad is deserved, you will receive it back. Now on to Uranus. If I say Saturn or Mercury, just know I'm not talking about them. It's Uranus. Uranus stationed retrograde back in August the 25th, and will be retrograde into next year. So it'll be January 22nd. So we're ending the year with Uranus still in retrograde. And Uranus is the planet of chaos, change. It's unpredictability. It's shaking things up. It really wants you to like shake loose and change something. So sometimes with our life, we have everything sitting nice and pretty, stacked up. We love the way we positioned it. And then to shake it would just be like, oh my God, what is happening? Please don't do that. I have this all set up the way I want it. But understand, not everything is going to fall. Only what falls needs to be changed. Your whole life doesn't fall apart. This is about, where do I need a shift? Where can I use a shakeup? Where can I use more independence? Because Uranus is also about its freedom and independence. So if you notice that you're kind of like, tired of asking for help or needing direction in this part, I really want to either have my own income or have my own role or have my own, whatever it is, have my own. That's Uranus calling to you. That's asking for your independence and your freedom. And definitely asking for, where do you need change? So if you're feeling like a chaotic shake, if you feel something in your life is being shaken up, you're not in punishment mode. You're making space so that you can redesign, so you can reset up those pieces, so that you can be like, oh, you know what? I didn't even realize I didn't like that anymore until it started shaking loose. Now I know. Now I know. So this little agent of chaos that is Uranus is uncomfortable while it's shaking, but such a relief when it's done. And again, this will take us into next year. So this will be, where did I write it? Yeah, January 22nd. Neptune. Can you believe we're not done with these retrogrades yet? Neptune. Again, I mentioned that it stationed retrograde June 29th. And this one will be stationing direct December 3rd. So almost to the new year. This will take us to the last month of the year. And Neptune, oh, we love Neptune. Such a gentle cosmic love. Neptune is the planet that represents a veil. It's beyond the other realms. And so, believe it or not, when Neptune stations direct, when Neptune stations retrograde, we can see more clearly than when it's direct. Normally with the energies, it's like when it goes retrograde, things are kind of chaotic and inward and we don't see as clearly. But with Neptune, when it stations retrograde, it sees through the veil. Because typically, and I didn't make this one up either, but I'm going to use it. Neptune is like the cosmic fog machine. I love that. Describes it perfectly. It produces veils so that you can't see the truth from fiction. It's purpose. That's what it does. And it sees everything through the lens of rose-colored glasses. Oh, does Neptune just want to see the best in everybody? This is the sign that'll bring home all the strays, including stray people. This is the sign that just has the planet that just has a total encompassing heart. It's the planetary ruler of Pisces. So anybody knows a Pisces is a bleeding heart and just open for everybody. And that's Neptune. Neptune's like, I just want to love everyone. But sometimes the people we want to love don't love us back or hurt us or aren't who they say they are. And we are deceived. So when Neptune is retrograde, we take off the rose-colored glasses for about 6 months. What a nice time. So half of the year, the rose-colored glasses are on, half of the year, they're off. And so they have been off since June 29th. And so everything that you're seeing more clearly. And trust that. Trust that. The rose-colored glasses are off. You can see through veils. If people are showing you who they are, you can see them now. This is the time where you trust what you're seeing. This is the time where you gain clarity, you see through the illusions, and we take off the rose-colored glasses. We're going to put them back on after December. So make sure you're paying attention now, because we are going to get foggy again. Pluto retrograde. Pluto was the first one of these planets to go retrograde, and also goes retrograde for about 6 months out of the year. So we deal with this all the time, half a year, every year, cyclical. So Pluto went retrograde May 1st and will end its retrograde very soon, October 8th. And with Pluto, deals with the life and death cycle, our personal power, our shadows. And so it's about facing our fears about ourselves, our fears about reality. And it also wants us to let go of the things that we thought we can control, but we can't. And to take our power back where we can. So often we give our power away to situations, to people, to news, like, oh, we believe that, we hand our power away. And it's asking us to call that back in. Call your power back to yourself. You don't need permission. Every single one of us, we're living our lives with the same amount of authority as anybody else. The hierarchy is an illusion. And we could see that with Neptune retrograde. The hierarchy is an illusion. You are the authority of your life. And if you are in partnership with somebody, of course, there's compromise and you don't just walk all over them. But that's the delicate balance between partnership and the purpose of that. But in your life, you are the authority. You decide what to do. And when Pluto's retrograde, we get to look at ourselves and say, am I afraid of my own power? Am I afraid to make these decisions? Maybe I am. How do I remove that? How do I remove the fears that I have of being all that I am? How do I remove the fears of being on my own if you're someone who's naturally codependent and you do need to take your power back? Uranus will tell you. Uranus is like ready to shake that up. Like, let me show you. I will show you your independence. But Pluto deals with the fears and really wants you to see into yourself. Why are you afraid of you? Be all you can be. Let the old die. That's what Pluto does. Pluto says, let it go, let it die, be reborn as the phoenix. And so by October 8th, I want everybody to phoenix mode. Rise up, everybody, phoenix mode. We'll still be in the Virgo for a while, so we got work to do. You know, it won't be fiery, but it will be necessary. We will do the work where it needs to be done, right? We can all agree. Yes, rise up. And then the last retrograde, which again is not a planet, it's an asteroid, but in astrology, we count this one very prominently. And for my type of astrology, 13 sign true sidereal astrology, I know it's a mouthful, but that's what I do. This is the planetary ruler of Ophiuchus because they share the same energy and the same story. Chiron, the wounded healer, stationed retrograde in July 20th to be exact, and will station direct in December 22nd. And Chiron deals with the core wound, where all the other wounds stem from, the most internal one, the crack inside that comes from a past life that we're not even necessarily remember how we got this wound, but that we've carried it over and have played out and played out and played out because it has an important lesson for us. So this is the core wound healing time. We're in it. We're in it. We can't avoid ourselves. Well, all these retrogrades, it's work time. We cannot avoid ourselves. We can't keep looking at everybody else and say that they are the problem, or look at society and say they are the problem. We are society. We hate it. We have to change it. You know, it starts with ourselves. And that's what all these retrogrades are pointing at. And we know how everybody loves self-responsibility, right? That's why everybody hates the retrogrades. So the core wound healing, examining your triggers. Your triggers are your responsibility and your problem. It is nobody else's. We can get mad at somebody for triggering us, but it's up to us to say, why did that hurt? Why did that hurt me? Did they mean that? Was somebody being deliberate, or are they just living their truth and I'm upset? Our triggers are there to show us what needs healing, not to shield it so that the button never gets pressed. This is so important to understand, that your triggers are no one else's responsibility but your own. You can get mad, it's fine. Nobody has to be like you. And again, that Virgo season energy is not about perfection. It's not about everybody having to be a very specific way. It's about allowing others to be in their organic template, including yourself, sitting in your organic template, sitting in what feels right to you and your body, and letting others live their truth as long as it's not harming you. Because again, Virgo's about boundaries. So as long as you're not being stomped on with your boundaries, your triggers are your problem. And they are meant to have you turn inward in a safe way and sit with yourself and say, yep, I got to do something about this. I can't live this way. You know, I got to read this comment. What did you say? What'd you say? Yes, we need to look within to see what needs changing, because you're right. Yep, exactly. And that's really what this time is about, because Virgo's analytical. She can be overly criticizing. So again, we have to make sure when the critical eye turns inward that we turn it back outward. But it is to analyze ourselves and to be here with ourselves and to acknowledge that we are here in our bodies to live our truth to slow down so that we can listen to all the things that are going on within our inner world. Because again, 6 planets plus Chiron, all retrograde, meaning all of their energy, rather than spinning out of us, is spinning into us. Rather than us exuding it externally, it's all the internal world. And so to slow down and to listen to it, to pay attention, and to take this Virgo season to analyze them and to get to work on them. If you've neglected your home, you're neglecting you. Maybe that's something that you need to clean up. Maybe you'll be able to feel better. You know, if your mind is spinning out of control, slow down and pick up a creative hobby for a little bit. Just get out of the monkey mind. We use it so much, too much, especially during this Mercury retrograde phase while it's in Virgo. Oof, that analytical mind might let you down. Be prepared. It might not let you down. It might not be as quick. That's why I'm tongue-tied. I'm calling everything the wrong thing, signs, planets. It is what it is. Mercury's retrograde. It's not perfection. We're getting through it. And so to close out my segment, I just want to have everybody here, before I hand it over to the beautiful Kahulani, as she's going to channel energy. I see her getting ready now. It's going to be so much fun. How do we honor and align with Virgo? How do we honor and align with the retrogrades? Again, we return to the body. Don't neglect her signs, especially during Virgo. We have a long period of time to listen. If she's not talking to you right now, it's okay. We have until November 4th. That's a long time. Pay attention to what she's saying. Any swelling that shows up, any purging, any stomach issues after eating something, listen to it. Your body's intelligent. It's not just happening by accident. It's a communication. It's a back and forth, and we're just so distracted. We don't realize this. Some of us do, I'm saying, the greater collective. It's a physical intelligence. It's the gut, listening to your gut. It's a great time for breath work. Again, I mentioned that Virgo's like the air sign of the earth sign. So bringing air into your body, fueling that Mercury energy, breathing in, slowing down, being present, touching earth. So important too. Even get into some yoga. You don't have to be slim, slender, bendy. That's what yoga's for. It's just meant to make you stretch, become aware of the body. It's a tool to use to help yourself better listen to your body. If you feel disconnected and naturally flighty and out of your body, this is a wonderful period of time to anchor into it, to get connected, to let it in, to say, what do I need physically? It's okay to have physical needs. It's okay. Make your daily life a spiritual practice. Folding the laundry is spiritual. Doing the dishes are spiritual. Organizing your desk is all spiritual. Why? Because you're alive and you're a spirit and you're doing it. And it's a practice. And it's the little duties that we have to do to keep our temples beautiful. It doesn't have to be boring and mundane to be in service and to be of work. Because if we weren't here in a physical body, we would just be absorbed into the all again, missing out on the idea of a physical experience. So we might not always love the idea of the mundane, but we came here for it. We did. I promise you we did. We're here for it. We want to touch things. Even if it's the laundry and dishes, we want to touch them.
You're going to make me cry.
I'm over here making myself laugh.
I'm going to do both at the same time. Something in Gemini.
Yeah, they're tied together. So make your service sacred again. Restore your body to the temple that it is. You are not required to reach perfection. You are simply meant to purify and to return to your innocence. Last but not least, in the name of service, never neglect yourself and your boundaries. That's really important. If you're in service to other people, you don't have to be walked on. Trust me. Virgo says, oh, I'm in service, but I got my boundaries up. We don't play that game. Discernment. And last but not least, drink some water.
Oh, right. Let's do that right now.
Support that detoxing process. Lubricate the inside of your body. It's so important. And that's it for my segment. I'm going to hand it over now to beautiful Kahulani over in Hawaii, sending all the Hawaiian vibes and love and beauty and sunlight and flowers, and I love it all. And she's going to help us anchor in with her hands and the light language and channeling all of the energy. I'm just going to mute myself for a moment, play a little bit of background music, and definitely anchor in, get in tune with that body, Virgo season.
Okay, welcome everyone. First of all, I just wanted to say thank you so much for giving yourself this gift today, because that's truly what it is. You gave yourself a gift today, like, yay, thank you. So hug yourself for a moment and say, oh my God, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Tell your innate body, thank you, thank you, thank you for being here now. This is just where I was meant to be at this time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Give yourself a big hug. I'm so grateful. It's a big fuck yes for me. We swear, we hug, we pray and swear in the same sentence. We don't care. We're not perfect. So thank you for giving yourself this time today. Please know how beautiful you are. I see all of your lights shining in this circle that we have created together today. I see all of your energy. It's beautiful. I'm just really grateful that you know that you are deserving of this time and this space for yourself. It's self-care, it's not selfish. It's magnificent. It's putting yourself first so that you can be of better service to not only yourself, but to your gift and what you're supposed to be doing. It's beautiful. I feel like the minute I just stopped that mindset of, oh my God, I'm selfish. And I said, fuck that. I'm taking care of this body. I'm taking care of this vessel. I'm doing what I need to do to be happy and joyful within this now moment so that I can be a full cup. So I have something to pour out to my family, my work, my friends, my fucking self. Like, if you don't take care of this body, how the fuck are you gonna do anything? You know, so yes, this is your full permission slip. Take good care of yourself. Every morning, the first thing you should be doing is being grateful that you're alive. Say thank you for this breath. I'm so fucking happy I'm alive and I'm here and I have another day to do whatever the fuck I want. And I'm putting myself first. I'm not gonna feel guilty about it, ever. I wake up every morning and I'm just like, that state of gratefulness. Like, if you just start your day that way, no matter what the fuck is happening, it puts you in a place of automatically receiving better things for the day. So on that note, I'm gonna do a little light language. I'm gonna move a little bit. Feel free to get up if you'd like to, move around. But this light language that I'm giving you with my hands is meant to provide a clearing. I have the energy very big within me. We're gonna actually go out into the sun in a minute, but it's very powerful clearing energy. So like she said, purging might happen. Drink water. Don't worry about what's going on in your body. It's normal. It's fine. Just be good to yourself. Be gentle, kind. Lots of baths with salt water. I put pink salt in there, essential oils, things like that. It's just beautiful. All right, so I'm going to take this off. There we go. Okay, so feel free to get up and move around if you'd like. I'm just gonna move a little bit and then I'm gonna go into the sun and do some light language. It's morning here, so this is just like how I get my blood flowing into my body and just kind of check in with myself and feel my breath and feel my heart. Just say thank you, for being here. Just kind of stretch in whatever way feels good to you. We tend to tense up in our shoulders and our necks and things like that. So another thing that I've been found quite helpful, I don't know if this is something you guys have heard about, but you can actually give yourself a light tap, whatever area is hurting. And you can, yeah, I have roosters, sorry. It's Maui morning roosters every day over here. It's hilarious. And yeah, so if you have a sore spot, like right now, my shoulder's hurting a little bit. So I'm just doing a little bit of tapping and talking to my body about how I want it to feel better right there. So you can actually talk to your cellular structure and give yourself a tap at the same time in whatever area might have a little bit of tension. And as you talk to your body and give yourself a tap, you'd be fucking shocked at how fast this works. We're all healers of ourselves, you guys. We can all do this. You can even give yourself a little, like, I'm not slapping myself, I'm just giving myself a gentle little, you know, but it feels really good. It's like a mini facial, you know? So I highly suggest, you know, just giving yourself, like, I call it love pats because, you know, that's what it is. It's a love pat. Okay, we're going out into the sun for some light language. Let's go. Do I want to wear shoes? There's chicken shit. I should probably wear shoes. Yeah, we'll do that. Hello. Okay, I don't know which way my camera's going to go better, but I can only hold it good this way, so let's get some sun. Ooh, there we go. We got some sun. It's a beautiful day. I'm so grateful. Like, so grateful to be here, sharing this sun with you all. These beautiful rainbow sun codes coming in from Maui. Just breathe them in. Just to anchor it into your body. At this time, it's also helpful if you feel like it would be helpful for you to just kind of, you can tap your third eye and it will help bring in these codes quicker. And this will be recorded too, so that's really good. You can look at it again if you'd like. Not to be looked at while driving, operating heavy machinery, or anything like that. But these are innate codes for clearing. The ocean here today is like a lake. The clouds look like angels. It is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. I wish I could bring you all here, but here it is. This is just so grateful right now. Wow. Like full on angel clouds. Like, hello. Beautiful souls. Thank you for being here. Giving yourself this gift today. Allow all the negative things you've been holding on to just be cleared right out right now. We're breathing that right out. All the bullshit, all of it. Anything that you're holding on to that feels like it gives you any kind of a headache or a stomach ache or anything, because that's all that is. Your words, your vibrations, your feelings, your energy is all affected by what you're telling yourself. Tell yourself you love yourself and everything's going to be okay. The best is yet to come. Oh my goodness, it feels so good. Big deep breath. Got to sit in a circle together today and share space. As we reflect on this moment, we are going to remember that we gave ourselves a beautiful gift today. And you're going to walk away from this just going, thank you. Because I know I am. Thank you, Stephanie. That was so beautiful, so inspiring. And I had so much more I was going to say, but you covered it all. So thank you so much. That was just from the bottom of my heart. Thank you all for being here today. As we walk down the misty path back home, remembering what we gave ourselves today. Take a piece of this forest home with you. Take some of the sunshine home with you. It's all right inside of your heart. You can close your eyes anytime you want to and go to the forest and sit on the moss. That's how I go to sleep every night. I bring myself to the misty forest and sleep on the moss and ask all of my angels and guides to just sit around me so I can just sleep peacefully. It's quite beautiful. Creative visualization is a key to creating your own world. I'm here to help. If you need any help with that, I'm an artist, so it comes naturally to me and I'm all about it. Sending you all so much love. If anyone has any questions or wants to have a chat, I guess we're going to open it up now. Let's do it. Thank you.
Kahulani, that was beautiful. Thank you so much for
It
guiding
made me
us
cry.
through. I love the way you flow. And the roosters, they really want us to be awake, don't they?
Yeah. Sorry about the roosters, guys.
Oh, don't apologize. Don't
If I
apologize.
told you, how many are down there, you'd be like, oh wow. And they wake up at 4.
Oh, I'm sure that's great, huh? No wonder you're an early riser.
So can you drop our Instagram handles
I sure
and
can.
our other stuff down in the chat? Because I'm too lit to chat right now.
I hear you.
But thank you. I'm
Gotcha.
gonna plug in my headphones and then let's open up for questions.
Yeah, so if
excited.
anybody wants to unmute yourself and either share how you've been feeling, whether it's the retrogrades, Virgo season, light language activation, how it made you feel, please feel free. If not, don't have to. So this is a link to our offerings, and then I'm also going to link our Instagram. If you don't already follow either me or Kahulani, here is how you can continue to find us. That's me.
Thank you all so much for coming today. Sorry I'm too lit to chat. That always makes me really high.
Oh, we love it. We love to be like that. Here you are.
Naturally
Okay.
lit. I'm gonna go dance after this.
Oh, please do.
Such a beautiful day, and I'm definitely going to the beach. The water is like, come swim now. So that's what we're gonna
I'm
do.
an artist too. I feel your energy so much, made me tear up. Oh, look at this. Oh my
thank
goodness,
you.
you're an artist. I love that. I love how many creative
Thank
beings are
you.
here.
I'm gonna put my glasses on. Thank you, Ashley. That makes me so happy. I think we're all artists when we take off the labels and all the bullshit that they tried to make us wear. Underneath, we're all singers and dancers and artists, and we're meant to just, create our life that way.
Yes, artists of our lives.
Yes, absolutely, Ashley. I agree 100%. I think that's just beautiful. And if we all live from that aspect, and like she said, just create your space. Even doing dishes is fun because I just put on a playlist and make it fun. Fucking make every moment fun. Life is sacred. Here we are.
That's what I was talking about with Virgo, like bringing back the idea that everything you do is a sacred practice. Everything you do is in alignment with the greater universal energies, this greater being. Like we are spirit. So
it just enhances your whole life that way. Everything is just so God, I just love the way you I second that. The way that you described everything, it really just you honestly, like, you inspired that whole flow that you just saw me do was inspired by your whole talk, because it just lit me right up and brought me right into where we need to be in our, when we can match our head space, our heart space, and our body together as one and dance that dance together. Fuck, life is so good and interesting. It's so fun. So yeah, I'm fired up. Thank you, Stephanie. That was lit. Beautiful.
You're lit. I love this.
I get high when I told you, this is like, I'm trying not to jump out of my skin right now. I'm a shapeshifter, so I can when I go into the forest, I become invisible and things like that. I've been discovering. The last month I went into the forest and I was like, and yes, Stephanie, we are going to be doing a retreat. I am going to be doing that. That is something that's coming up. It's been being asked more and more. So as we gather up the space, I'm definitely going to be holding very small retreats, because I believe intimate space is definitely no more than 12 people, up to 12 for each group and each gathering, because I just feel like it's really good. But yeah, I'm going to be doing retreats. I'm actually opening up a healing center here in Maui. So a lot is coming. Just, keep following. Things are only getting better. The best is yet to come. I will be definitely just only growing and chasing and following my dream that I've had my whole life. And my visions are very clear. I see them with my eyes open and closed. We are here. We're living the dream. And it's not like I have a lot of money or anything. I just believe. I just believe.
Well,
believe.
We're all here for like this vision. I really believe that the age that we're in right now, the time that we're in right now, is like the creators are here, and we're not here to just accept the reality that is given to us.
The fuck yes energy is so big. Yes.
All of us coming together at this time, meeting even in this virtual state, is so that we can come together in the physical and pool our resources, pool together, our knowledge of what's really going on, because so much has been hidden from us. A lot of what we've been fed is
It
false. And
is.
so those of
It
us who are
is.
awake, we're coming together now at this time. And so again, thank you all so much for being here, for sharing this space with us, for deciding that, like, I want to be aligned with what's going on. I want to know what the energies
This is
are.
you choosing yourself. It's fucking
That's you.
beautiful.
Uh-huh.
This is you choosing yourself, like
Yeah.
choosing yourself.
Mhm.
And another thing that I wanted to just, before we close out and let everyone go do whatever they're doing today on this beautiful Friday or Saturday, wherever you are, is just remember how powerful you are. Even in those moments of, oh my God, I'm so alone, everything fucking sucks. Guess what? You're not alone. You're a superwoman. You're fucking have superpowers
We're
that you
all
don't even know
superpowers.
about. We have all superpowers, and I'm here for your backup fuck yes energy anytime you need it. And so is Stephanie, because we are lit.
All right,
We are
everyone.
lit.
Thank you so much for joining. We really appreciate the time that you spent with us, and yeah, just for being here. So enjoy this Virgo season. It lasts till November 4th. Yes, it does. Track the sky, check it out for sure. And enjoy these retrogrades. Turn your eyes inward, examine what's going on. We're not being punished, we're being taught. We're having an invitation to our inner lives. And so again, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate every single one of you, and sending so much love.
Bye. Thank you.